Don't assume that just because it's money that they have a problem with it. Most of the people in the world don't. At all. If it's done right. So one of the things that we found with the patient visit average immediately, now bearing in mind I haven't even looked at TM3 and I don't have a clue how it works, never will have a clue how it works, and I don't need to know how it works. But I've got a spreadsheet which tells me that the patient visit average is dropping and the cost or the reimbursement, if you like, per patient is dropping. And yet the number of visits is going up. So what the fuck's going on? I didn't know and I brought it up. And Vicky went, oh, well, actually, I wanted to talk to you about the number of free sessions that have been given away. So the number of free sessions is creeping up and up and up and up and up. Now, what was invented a year and a half ago to be and I remember the conversation, if you think there's the odd patient who just needs an extra session, just as a little gift to get them over the line, to potentially move them onto a year of care, or really just seal a deal on being like an amazing experience, give them a comp. Give them a comp is turned into what looks like 60–70% of people get an extra couple of sessions at the end of every plan of care. Now, it doesn't surprise me at all that that happens, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where you know, you let your kid not kind of clean his room one morning, and you think, oh, it's a one-off, and then all of a sudden a year later he's never cleaned it for 300 days. It's like, and then everything's a mess. So one little thing turns into it's become a softener, if you like, in the business, where instead of getting the evaluation correct and communicating in the right way and then proposing 2 or 3 extra sessions that they actually pay for, heaven forbid, and or move on to a year of care and or a maintenance plan and or do whatever else that you need to suggest that they do, it's become a let's give a few free sessions because it's a bit easier. Makes sense? And that really is what's gone on, is it feels nice and it feels soft and it feels comfortable. And then Johnny thinks, oh, it's only one person. But then you analyse it and you've done it 4 or 5 times, forgetting that you've done it 4 or 5 times, forgetting that you might have done it, forgetting that Kev's done it and whoever else has done it. So my first reaction was, all right, any free comp has to go through Vicky. 3 seconds later I was like, scrap that. There's no comps. Like, from now on they're done. They just do not exist, other than a discovery visit, which is way more than most people are offering anyway. It's really going back to what the purpose is of that first session and your communication. And this is massive for you all as you set up that first session. Sorry, in that first session, as you set up discoveries, you're basically expectations. That should be renamed as an expectation session. That's it. And in the first session, they should be told, here's what's going to happen. You know, based upon what you've told me, here's what's going to happen. You can need 6 sessions or 9, whatever you're going to propose. In the past, you know, again, we've looked at the number of 9-session plans versus 6 these days. There's almost no 9. And how a year and a half ago was it like 3 out of 10? Now it's like 0 out of 10. Or this is the problem. When you have a patient who isn't quite ready to be discharged, it almost becomes an emotional effect on you that you think, oh, well, I promised them in 6 sessions that their ankle would be better or their back would be better. So I'm going to give them a couple of free sessions. First of all, what it does is devalues your advice and your expertise. You're doing it because it feels nice and comfortable and we want to be friends and we want to be seen to be helping and not taking any more money and not going back on what we said in the first session. Therefore, the problem's in the first session. Agreed? The problem's in the first session when you say, we have 2 options, 6 or 9 sessions, right? And we need to look back now at this as to how we can increase that. Something's gone wrong in that evaluation, in that setup, for it not to be getting taken at 9 sessions. Now, whether it's actually even being proposed, whether you're giving them an option still, we really critically need to look at what's being said as to the benefits of taking a 9-session plan versus a 6. Whether it's 2 we can do it, you know, how thoroughly would you like to do this? We can do it twice a week for 3 weeks, or we can do it 3 times a week for 3 weeks. Whichever you want. How fast do you want this to happen? We can do this 3 times a week for 3 weeks, or twice a week for 4 weeks. Which one works for you? And start looking at an option. And I genuinely believe that'll have been skipped. Because if you give them the option, not everybody will take the highest, but the option always makes the lowest one much easier anyway. But 2 or 3 people will want the more sessions. If you came in and said to me, do you want to do this like just as we can, or do you want to do this thoroughly as possible? I'd just go as thoroughly as possible. All right, you need 3 sessions a week. Now, not everybody will. Some people will go, just give me the baseline. But the numbers do not lie on anything. On a span of 10 people, I did this on a call last night. We went through about 4 different scenarios where in a span of 10 people, there are 2 who want the most basic. There are 2 who want like just because they can. And there are 6 in the middle who will take like the average. And every single person here today is living exactly the same life. That if I said to you all, here's something, and you can have this version of it or that version. 2 of you would say, well, I don't want it at all. 2 of you would say, give me the top version, and the others would go, I'll have that one. That's just what goes on. So the numbers in the data cannot lie at all in terms of how those sessions get set up. It goes back to confidence, understanding what you're doing, what you're trying to do, what your real job is. Your job is not to be nice, not to be friendly, not to become their friend. It is to be a client, for them to become a client of which you protect. And you help make sure that they get the outcome that they need. To strip all emotion away from finances. You are not their accountant, you're not their bank manager. You have no issue whatsoever when it comes to money. There should not be an ounce of, you'll have to pay for that. That's the way it is. Because the same person's walking out the door and spending however much money on shoes and jeans and clothes that are completely irrelevant, that they absolutely do not need, and wouldn't think twice about it. So if the problem's in the discovery, in the evaluation, which it is, this is the critical understanding for you all to think. If you turn around and go, it's going to be 6 or 9 sessions. Now, I'm 90% certain that I can get you there in 6 sessions. But there may be a chance that we will need 1 or 2 extra visits at the other end. I will let you know as we get closer to the final session. Is that okay? Yes. Thanks, Jordan. If you skip that part and you try to put an extra 2 or 3 sessions on at the other end, you'll run into a brick wall. But if you ask them, keyword, ask them, there may be a chance that you will need another 2 or 3 sessions at the other end, but I will let you know as we get closer. Is that okay? Yes, it is. Again, let's take it into the dentist world or the doctor's world or whoever. That if I went to the dentist and he said, Paul, I need to see you 5 times to like really get this rotten tooth out the back of your mouth. And look, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I'm pretty certain that 9 out of 10 times I can get it in 5 goes. But there is a chance that it might take me an extra couple of visits. I just don't know till I get in. How's that sound? Sounds like you're being pretty honest. Sounds like you're being pretty decent and pretty upfront and pretty open with me. Doesn't sound like you're taking the piss or trying to kid me or con me or whatever. Because that's the truth, by the way. That's the truth. And then if after 5 sessions he goes to me, Paul, remember when I said we might need a couple? That like tooth decay was actually a little bit worse than I thought. Nothing bad, nothing good, just a little bit worse than I thought. And it's going to take me an extra couple of sessions to really get to the root cause of it. Are you all right to book an extra couple out the front with Vicky? Okay. Please tell me how anybody could be even remotely unsatisfied or unhappy with that. If they are, it's not us, it's them. I'm telling you now, it's not us, it's them. The problem is we go the other way and we think that 9 out of 10 people are thinking that we're bad because we haven't done it right and we're trying to take money off them and all that sort of thing. Let's face it, that's the issue. The emotional attachment that you have to it is the problem. When you let the emotional attachment go and you just go, this is my job, this is what I've seen, I've been doing this for a few years now, I reckon I can do this in 5 or 6, I'm pretty confident, 9 out of 10, but at the end of the day it's medicine, it's medical. I don't know, the ins and outs of your body, I don't know how fast you're going to recover, but I'm giving you a pretty damn accurate analysis of it, and I'm just letting you know that there could be an additional 10 or 20% on the back end on top of what I've just prescribed today. How does that sound? You have to ask them. If you don't ask them and you tell them, you're in trouble. And if you try to do it after 6, you will lose. And it'll be a kick-off and they'll go, no, I'm good, I'll leave it. If you set them up in that first session for them to decide that that's all right for you to do at session 5 or 6, Don't do it at the last one, do it at 4 or 5. As soon as you start to see that they may not be 100%, or they'll never be 100%, but as good as you want them to be, like they want to be, that is when you have to position it. And it's literally, remember when I said at session 1, we might need an extra couple of sessions? I think it's going to look like that. Now look, the choice is yours. Now what am I doing by saying the choice is yours? They're still in control. I'm still making them feel as though they're the ones in control. And if you ever are worried about them going, oh, you're just trying to take money or you're trying to book me in on more sessions, which is bullshit. Not one of you would do anything like that anyway, ever. So you have to live that way. If you are ever worried about it, once you give them the option and make them feel like they're in control, nobody can ever accuse you of it. And you never would be. They have to feel like they've made the decision, and they should be making the decision. You just guide them towards it. But if you start to tell them, this is what you have, you must book in, they're going to go, oh, fuck off. If you go, hey, listen, there's a couple of options here. Yeah, look, we're about 80%. It's completely up to you. If you want to leave today, you're obviously a hell of a lot better than when you came in. But if you really want to finish this off, like I said in the evaluation, it may take 1 or 2 extra visits. It might be wise for us to do that. What do you think, Johnny? An 8 out of 10 will go, give me 2 more sessions. In every healthcare setting, that, by the way, is an option. Even in the NHS, right? Wouldn't it be lovely if they went, well, yeah, today you've come in, right? 2 months ago when I was bad with my throat, went in on the Monday, in and out within 6 minutes. There's your pills, off you go. If she'd have said to me right there and then, and you can come back tomorrow, if you pay £100 now, you can come back tomorrow to be reviewed, and if you do still have a problem, we can up the dosage of those painkillers. Would you like to secure that session now? Fucking right would I like to give you 100 quid. Nothing to do whatsoever with money, because I value the health more. Now, would 8 out of 10 people go, no, I'm good, I'll call you if I need you? Yes. But there is 2 people who'd go, yes, give me the peace of mind, the security, the ability to walk through this door tomorrow and speak to the doctor if this pain hasn't gone, which, by the way, didn't, and I had to beg, steal and borrow to get in. I guarantee you, if the NHS added that to the system, there's most of their money worries over. We can give you a basic level of care for free, and if you want to secure an additional level of care for 50 quid, would you take it? 2 or 3, you with your kids. Issues you've had with Charlie's and a kid. Hey, listen, we've had half an hour with you today. Do you want to tomorrow just make sure that this is all right? We're pretty sure. We're pretty sure everything's fine. But do you want to come in tomorrow at 4:30 and you'll get to see the doc again and you'll be able to review the review or review the process rather than waiting 3 months. 50 quid. Yes. Every one of you would do it. Nothing to do with money. Nothing to do, because at every point there's a basic. We've covered it, right? We've knocked it off with 6 sessions. But there's 2 or 3 who just want more, who have no money worries. It's not even to do with money worries. It's nothing to do with money. It's peace of mind. And they're very happy to transfer this little thing called gold and silver and green stuff to somebody else for it. Because it was never a problem. It was never about money. It was the, shit, what if this didn't work? What if these antibiotics don't kick in? What if I give it 12 hours and then I decide that these pills haven't worked, and oh, it's 9:01 and all the appointments are gone already because they go at 9 o'clock and 45 seconds, and you have to wait another 24 hours to go through the whole rigmarole again of being put on hold for 17 minutes to try and get through, to be told that there's now 100 people queuing up outside the door who actually get the appointments before the people who ring. Okay, can I just absolve myself from all of that shit and give you 50 quid? You do it, you do it, you do it, you do it, you do it. Every single one of you would do it. Nothing to do with how much money you make, how much money you've got, you would do it. And that's all that this is. Do you want just a little bit more? Because it's not possible. I can give you that level of care. If you want a bit more, I can give you that. There's a reason that all of them doctors in that NH, or however many of them doctors, are running private fucking care on the night. I can give you this through the day. But if you want that little bit more, pay. It's just the way the world works with everything. I can get you to New York. Sit on the back. 500. You want to lie down in a bottle of champagne in your hand? It's 2. Touches down at the same fucking time. Like, we both get there at the same time, but somebody wants to pay an extra 1,500 just to have a lie down and a bottle of champagne. All I'm saying... What? All I'm saying is, Some of us go to work. Some of us go to work. All I'm saying is, let them decide. That's it. Don't assume that just because it's money that they have a problem with it. Most of the people in the world don't. At all. If it's done right. If you try to force me into first or business, I'm pissed. Because I feel as though I've been manipulated and it's my only option, at which point I won't buy. But if you give me the choice, much like if the nurse said, well, if you want to come back, it is 50 quid. I bet, well, I don't want to pay, I should be getting this for free, I've paid my taxes. But if she goes, would you like to? You have an option. You're in charge, Mr. Goff. You know, if you value peace of mind a little bit more than money, would you like to come in tomorrow at 4:30? Absolutely. Nail me in. Can I bring the kids for a checkup as well? Well, that'll be an extra 50. Good, well, let's do it while I'm here. It's never about money. It's just, did you ask me? Did you make me feel as though I was the one who made the decision? Did you let me feel as though I was in control? If you did, I'll give it to you. And that, I believe, is what's gone missing in your evaluations. Has to make you feel uncomfortable enough to just want to keep giving free sessions. Do it right at that first session and just do everything that you said that you would do, which is re-quantify at 3, 4, 5. You will not have a problem with those extra couple of sessions on the back.